So you get back from a hard day at work, you put your stuff down, push that power button on that console or PC. You could play a single player game, but instead you play a battle royale. What is this, 2018? Yes, it's 2018. You hit go, you wait, you drop, you pick up a weapon, you go where you want, you shoot, you build, you talk in proximity chat.
Oh, look at that, right? Isn't that beautiful, teammate? Isn't it beautiful?
It's like the Welsh dragon.
You get killed. You ready up, you hit go again. You drop, land, weapon, shoot, move. Drop, land, weapon, shoot, move. But this time, you learn from your past mistakes and you win. See, I love battle royales. If you look at my banner, you can see the little Loba silhouette in there, and that's because I love Apex Legends. But I think the reason why I love BR so much is because it has that sense of freedom. Getting to go where you want, getting to choose what you want to do without the game telling you, you can't do that. There's a reason why BR games had a 3-year trend where damn near every game dev was trying to make their own BR. It's what gamers wanted. It's the reason why Elden Ring completely broke the gaming industry in 2022. And growing up, it's the same reason why I absolutely love stealth games. Stealth games were nowhere near as popular as they used to be. Truth be told, they're kind of dying. And if we do get a stealth game, it's not purely or only just a stealth game. Most of the time, it's like an action adventure with stealth tacked on. And the reason for it makes a lot of sense. The conclusion that I came down to is that it isn't that no one likes or wants stealth games. It's just that more people want action adventure games. People would prefer to play a game where, you're not sitting, waiting, having to use your head, waiting for the AI to go past. We'd rather just shoot things and see things blow up. But growing up, I myself never realized I loved stealth games, but then I realized it was never because I wanted to play them. It's because I never had a console, and the only type of games my PC could run was stealth games. Splinter Cells, Blood Money, Tomb Raider. While that wasn't really a stealth game, it was a game that I could run and it could play, and it's the reason why I love Tomb Raider today. But because of this, I learned to love stealth games. And it taught me a lot about gaming. It taught me patience. It taught me to use my head. Until this day, I believe it's one of the reasons why I like the games I do like today. Like, I don't really enjoy action adventure games that much, especially the ones that kind of play like the Sony exclusives. Games that don't hold your hands, now they're my favorites. The games that incorporate stealth well, despite how repetitive or ass the story may be, I may absolutely love the stealth mechanics. And yes, I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid 5. You see, as I've gotten older, I really like what stealth games were doing. More smart AI, giving me multiple ways to do a mission, finding ways to make your own stealth games unique in a genre where it was losing people. Some of these game devs were going above and beyond to have these creative immersive experience and having an interesting game. Again, after a while, they were starting to lean into action adventure, but still the stealth mechanics were still kind of there. It still felt like the player was feeling challenged. But I'm looking at the Dishonored games in Pacific. It still made the player feel like they were in control with the multiple paths that they could have taken. I could argue that some of these games were making these stealth games more exciting than the actual iconic classics. Some of these games you could play without killing a single person, and if the game was cool enough, the game would reward you for it in its own way. Some of them making it super difficult to do. Deus Ex, for example. I want to say Ubisoft was the pioneer for pushing the action-adventure stealth game a lot. A lot of their games had stealth mechanics, but still very much played as an action-adventure game, and they were making bank while doing so it seemed like every other company started to do the same thing. So any company that was solely making a stealth game probably saw the success of the Assassin's Creed and the other stealth games that they were making, started to incorporate more action into their stealth games, which is a good and a bad thing, because eventually, like a Ubisoft, you start putting less emphasis on the stealth mechanics and you start transitioning into solely an action game. You start to cheap out and improving the AI, which Ubisoft, surprisingly, till this day, has one of the worst AIs in games. I've really started to hate Ubisoft over the years, and that's a video in itself. I only played one stealth game last year, which is a shame because I didn't really enjoy it. It was Plague's Tale Requiem. And again, the whole cinematic feel to games just isn't for me. But it's loved. It was getting nominated a few times at the Game Awards, which kind of made me happy because it was a stealth game. A stealth game was doing well. It was getting out there. Ubisoft always said that they're working on a Splinter Cell game, and it'll probably be filled with a bunch of action adventure, but I really do hope they go hard into the stealth mechanics. I hope that the stealth game that we do get going forward keeps improving upon the AI, making the AI more adaptive, making the patrol routes more complex and less repetitive. If I'm replaying a mission in an area that I've ran through already, then they may have upped the difficulty and security may have tightened up in the same location like MGS5 did. There's plenty of ways to make stealth games interesting. And game devs probably want to do all that they can to make stealth games interesting, but let's face it, game devs are probably the most hardworking people on the planet. So the issue remains is, what's the point of wasting all this money and resources if no one really wants to play stealth games anymore? You may as well put more time into shooting mechanics or better looking explosions or, you know, those kind of things. The reality of the situation is the more genre a game has, the more expensive it gets, and I believe the stealth genre was quite expensive. So please, don't let stealth games die. They are fun, exciting games to me that were really pushing the game industry forward. If more action adventure took more ideas from like the greatest stealth games, I think I'd be more into the genre. But that's just me. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.